So what I want to do really quickly for you guys this time around is to talk about unionization and strikes. In the late 1800s, you're going to see this new movement towards organizing labor in order for individuals to push past kind of the unfair labor practices that have been imposed upon them by some of the industrialists. What do I mean by unfair? Well, a lot of people during this time frame, people who are factory workers, they're working upwards of 6 to 7 days a week. Many times they're putting in 12, 14, maybe 16-hour days. There's no lunch breaks, there's no personal time, there's no vacation days, and there is no safety net if you get injured on the job. And so you're going to have workers finally turn around and say, we can't continue to live like this. Something has to change. And the main thing that people are looking for is a 40-hour work week and some sort of minimum wage that they should be paid for their work. That is what's going to be kind of the early pushes in organized labor. It's also going to try to address one other major issue, and that is safety. Early American factories, they are not built with safety in mind, which means that you'll have lots of industrial accidents and lots of people getting hurt. Unlike today, whereas if you get hurt from a job and you'll be covered by Social Security, disability checks, and your workers' compensation, there was none of those things back in the 1800s. So if you got hurt on the job and you lost an arm, sorry, sucks to be you lost an arm, you're fired, good luck trying to find a job as a one-armed man. That is what these guys wanted to fix. They didn't want this anymore. They wanted people to have some protections. They also didn't want to work themselves to death. That is why they're going to start to organize. Now, organized labor does not go smoothly at all. When they first start, industrialists will push back. They'll use physical violence. They'll hire groups like the Pinkerton Detective Agency who will go in and violently break them up. If that doesn't work, they'll often call on the police. If they have enough friends in the government, they'll call on the police to have the police break up a strike. If that doesn't work, they'll call on the governor, and the governor will call it the National Guard and break up the strike. If the National Guard won't work, they will then pressure the United States government to send out the military to try to break up strikes. This happened a number of times. So organized labor is not going to have an easy go at it to begin. In fact, the United States Supreme Court is actually going to come out and rule against the rights of people to organize into labor groups. They're going to call them a conspiracy, so they're going to have them break apart that way too. This does not stop a lot of organized labor groups from starting, okay? They will still form and they will hold strikes. Strikes are effective as long as you have enough people striking with you. It doesn't work if you do not have a coordinated group. Therefore, you have to get everybody to buy into strikes. The reason why strikes didn't work at first is because if you went on strike, did you make money? No. If you got together as a collective and you saved up money and you put a collective amount of money together, then you went on strike and had something to live off of for a little while, then it works. But if you just try to go on strike without anybody making money, lots of people are going to fold and leave. Another thing that companies would do to try to break up strikes is that they would only fire the leaders that were leading the strikes, put them on blacklists, and the blacklist would then be passed around to industry leaders throughout the country saying, don't hire these people, they're labor agitators. So early labor does have a lot of struggles when it tries to get out of the gate. In order to try to fix that, it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take time and it's going to take government intervention to the point that the government is going to have to help protect unions. The government is going to have to pass some laws and some legislations in order to make unions legal. Also, as more people are joining unions, the stronger they become, because then they can hold large-scale strikes that will cripple the entire country, not just one factory plant. So you're going to see organized labor really start to take a hold in the United States early on here, but it will not truly come as a powerhouse until the early 1900s with the backing of the government and government protections in place of it.